You're listening to the Wicked Theory Podcast.
We're very happy to have you back, even for a short visit.
And here we go.
Broadcasting to you live from the secret costume sweatshop under the Xavier Institute for Higher Learning. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. Yeah! Damn, that's how you do it. That's Brother Bob on the guitars. I'm sorry, Bob. Tell him again.
Hello.
Every week, I'm sorry.
Week.
I wish it was
It's always something. If it's not you screwing up, it's me screwing up, or somebody else screwing up, or somebody shouting out in the background.
If we got it perfect once, I wouldn't. If you told me that, I wouldn't believe it. And then also we got Edward O'Hare.
Yes, I did. I got your medicines, and yes, I got your smokes right here. Here's a fresh carton. Hell, if I was you, I'd fire up right here in the damn room.
All right, I might just fire up in the damn room. I don't think I introduced myself. My name is Bill Sweeney. This is the Wicked Theory Podcast. This is episode 150. That's a number known better as 150.
150.
150 episodes.
You've done 150 of these.
Plus.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
I feel old.
Hey.
I feel old. I feel like I should probably retire.
No.
Well,
I'm so old.
I feel bad because I've actually missed one episode.
Oh.
You say 150, and for me it's 140 now.
You'll always be one behind.
Yeah.
So then next week you'll be like, "Ooh, I came in for the cake. There's no cake." Right. What's like this week?
And sad to report, Uncle Jay. He's under the weather.
Under the weather. Very under the weather.
Yeah. Our thoughts and prayers go out to him.
Not a hangover under the weather. Seriously under the weather.
No, yeah. He was said it was like a last minute thing. I think he was going to tough it out, but then he just clearly couldn't bother.
It's the eating the Portuguese women.
It's what was he doing?
In Newark.
What?
Eating the Portuguese women.
He's eating the women? Like Hannibal Lecter style?
I don't drink coffee.
I don't drink.
Yeah.
That's I don't know. So,
Ed, did you see Roseanne's coming back? So you're going to have a whole bunch of new John Goodman quotes to pick from.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You can have a new one every week.
Well, he already does do a new one every week.
But they'll be fresh. They'll be from
fresh
within the week.
That's true.
I'd
That's
say
true.
to stick to his movie work. But
That's keeping you. You'll always have more.
Yeah.
You'll always have plenty.
I'll always have King Ralph.
That's
true.
That's true. We'll always have King.
Yeah, don't forget the Flintstones.
Oh man.
The Babe.
But the weird thing is, the one that he was in was the good one.
Yeah.
The one he said no to wasn't.
Oh yeah, I can imagine.
You didn't care for Viva Rock Vegas?
I didn't even acknowledge that one.
Stephen Baldwin played Barney Rubble in that movie.
How about that?
Yeah.
Who was playing? Well, if he wasn't in it, who was playing Fred?
It was
Abe Vigoda?
No, I forget his name. It's the British actor. He was in a
of course, the Brit.
sitcom on CBS.
John Hamm?
No.
I say Barney.
Mark Addy.
I say, hey there, Bon.
Old chap. Be a good bloke. Get me a spot of tea.
So then if we follow this through logically, then what's his name's got to be American now. Fucking the little what was it? The little green guy that came in the later seasons.
Oh,
hello,
Gazoo.
dum Gazoo. Hey, Gazoo. Hello, dum.
Hey, dum. How you doing?
Yeah, right. It'll be like a truck driver.
It was Mark Addy. He was in a show in the early.
It doesn't matter.
Oh, he's called Still Standing.
We're past that, Ed.
No, not even.
Yeah,
Just once you said the name,
Yeah.
didn't mean anything.
And
He said it twice. We didn't acknowledge it twice.
still didn't make me remember the guy.
and if you watch Viva Rock Vegas,
Right.
Gazoo is in it, and he's played by Alan Cumming.
Well, that makes sense.
See, now that's why people should have seen it, because Alan Cumming
As Gazoo.
He's a good actor.
Yeah, it might be interesting. As far as I think that fits. I just feel like
I
that
have
fits.
no interest in anything that's on CBS. I saw a commercial for his new show, Instinct.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, okay, that's probably a good show.
It's probably a good show. He's on it.
Yeah, he's a decent.
I'm still never gonna watch it, but it's probably a good show.
Dude, you see him speak in a TV accent, and then you see him in person, and he's talking with this real thick Irish brogue. It's like, I'm sorry, man. If you could pull that accent, that American accent or the English accent off after talking like that,
Yeah.
you're a pro.
You're a pro. You're a pro. Yeah. You should probably get like an award or something.
Well, it's like trying to speak with a jar of peanut butter in your mouth.
That is true.
The Flintstones in Viva Rock Vegas was also Harvey Korman's last film.
That's the one that killed him?
Yeah.
That's the one that killed him?
He did, well, it put
Last
it on a
film,
live
like he
action
died, or last film, like I'm never going to work again, a la Sean Connery and League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
He did a couple of voice work things, but yeah, that was pretty much, he died about 8 years later.
All right.
But that was like his last live action
Right.
acting work.
Yeah, it gave him a stroke.
No, I don't blame him.
It was like, what's his name from Breaking Bad in the wheelchair?
He was old. He probably thought he was in the cartoon. He probably thought like it all became real. He's like, I don't understand anything anymore. What is this place?
Headley.
Am I Mr. Slate? I don't understand. All right.
He played Colonel Slaghopel.
So
His dad.
let's just kind of get all into it, all right?
Yeah,
This is episode 150.
Yeah, what we doing?
I don't know. We're gonna do some news. We're gonna do some reviews, maybe a little bit. We're gonna talk, get the kids in the chat room a game in a hot second. If people want to get emails in, they still can.
Yeah.
Podcast@wickedtheory.com.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do we have a good game this week?
I think we do.
Yeah?
I think we do. It's timely, kind
It
of.
is?
Well, it ties into the news. A news item gave me an idea.
Oh.
So people don't forget, we got a Facebook page. There's a caption game. You can always go over there, play that. At DC TV report this week.
Yes. A lot of fun.
A lot of fun.
We had the
No tears.
No tears.
Okay, that's good.
We had the Krypton premiere.
Yes. Well, we're going to talk about that later today.
Yeah, a lot of love for Legends of Tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
We had a lot of people tweeting at us about that this week's episode.
Yeah.
Which
Where'd they go?
It was they stayed on the Wave Rider.
Right.
Ava had to go find Constantine because Sarah spoke to Death Totem and got taken over.
Constantine, yeah. Right,
with the camels.
Right, mate, brother. Yeah, wrong, mate, brother. Go on.
And White Canary got taken over by the Death Totem, and they had to wrestle control the Wave Rider from her. And
Is it too late to get Jason Statham to play Constantine, like with a wig? Is that not going to work?
No.
Okay,
No, it's not.
just checking.
No.
All right. Because at least then he can get some karate kicks in.
Well,
Just saying, just thinking.
Bruce Willis might be kind of cheap right now.
If we're going to put a wig on him, might as well just get Bruce Willis.
Yeah.
I got you.
No,
I mean,
he has to be British.
Well, speaking of Bruce Willis, next week, I know we said we were going to do it this week, but just listen, I've had a rough week, okay? In the last 48 hours have been nothing but a shitstorm for me. So I'm in no mood to play games and have fun. I guess I came to the wrong. You came to the wrong place today. No, but
we talking like level 1 shitstorm, level 5 shitstorm.
you know what it's like? You know what it's just like? Okay, every move I tried to make this week, by the end of the week, just kind of dematerialized or
Blew
just
up
kind of
in
fell
your face?
apart. Yeah, I mean, fell apart. You like that?
Put it this way: you got so frustrated and angry that you made me watch a Deadpool trailer. I didn't have to.
Well, you seemed like you didn't want to, but I was like, it could be fun, and you were like, all right.
Yeah, something.
So basically my point being that I moved the pop culture super fight deathmatch round 2 or game 2, like TWO,
Yeah.
action heroes. That was the plan. We were gonna do pop culture super fight deathmatch 2.
T-Woe.
Yeah. T-Woe. T-Woe. Whose rapper name is that?
I don't know.
I don't know, but I like it.
That's the hip hop way of saying two now, I guess.
I think so.
T-Woe.
T-Woe. I like it.
Just hearing that phrase made me feel high.
I don't even know. Like,
Thank you, Ed. I just came up put that on the spot, too.
there you go. So anyway, look for that next week. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. Since Jay's not here, just another reason to kind of push it off. And once again, like this whole live thing with Mixler, like I don't know if we're going to get all kind of crazy in about 45 minutes and the audio is going to get all garbled up again and turn to high shit. Really don't know.
Been working on it all week.
I'm working on it all day today, trying to find a bunch of different fixes. Got a couple of tips from a couple different people. Me and Palmer were trying to troubleshoot it too.
Is that why the guy, the repairman who was here all day, was like, bye,
Yeah.
when he left?
Yeah, right. Yeah, he heard
sitting
me
in the
early.
mic all day.
Right,
And
he's
he's
like-
walking in and out, seeing you there.
I'm just doing this sheetrock patch job, and your buddy in there's been cursing up a storm, throwing stuff around. I wish, but yeah. So look, I didn't want to kind of like try and get some kind of good steam going with that. like kind of thing. I'd like to have like a no bumps in the middle of that.
Yeah.
Like, you know?
Yeah. Any like creative cursing you use today? Like you milf flicker.
No, but that would have been good.
No.
No, I mean,
I don't know if I don't know if that would actually be an insult though.
I don't know. I mean, depends on who you say it to, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, if someone was just eating out a MILF,
Yeah, I think
it would be a pat on the back, wouldn't it?
My favorite one like that is when Kevin Pollak came up while he was impersonating Christopher Walken.
Sure.
Go fluff your nuts.
I can hear it. I can kind of. I can see him doing it. Yeah, a little bit. Yeah. So that's that. We guys gonna look for that next week. We're gonna have fun with that. Like a lot of fun. You remember the first time around, Ed? Remember that?
Oh yeah, it was tons of fun.
They can't see your face right now, Ed. They can't read the sarcasm.
Yeah. That whole Grandpa Smurf thing. Ooh.
Come on, Grandpa Smurfs. Wow, really showing your age.
Yeah.
It's Papa Smurf.
Papa
all right?
Smurf.
Jesus fucking Christ. There was fucking 50 of them. All right, and you can't remember one?
People were very upset.
It was great. It was great.
Oh, it was great. It was great, but people were very upset.
I was upset at the very end when it came down to the final two. But anyway, that's a whole other thing for another week. Next week, as a matter of fact. So let's see who's in the chat room. Who we got?
What do we got?
Who we got?
Oh,
Who's there?
we got Wesley.
Yeah.
We got
He's here all the time.
Yeah, that's true.
we got James B. Ham.
James.
Oh, hey, James, long
James
time no
Bam.
here.
We got NZ Outsider.
Yes.
Yo, what up?
Returning regular.
Yeah, we got Zombie John.
Hey-o.
We got two Elsewheres, and Benny Wivelire's been in and out.
Oh, been in and out. Yeah, I see that.
All right, well, now the action's starting, so he can get back in.
There you go.
Yeah.
I think it's one of these things with just the listing, like, we just kind of like names pop on and pop off. It's probably something to do with connections and all that good stuff.
Cool.
I don't know. Because I've noticed the same thing on my side. On the list, it shows me. It gets wacky, it gets weird. Let's give him a game.
All right, check
All right, game.
Yeah, game.
Game time. Let's go.
All right, easy.
Let's go, coach.
The hashtag.
Let's go, coach.
The hashtag.
Yeah.
The hashtag is
Yeah,
It's better.
that's better.
rejected Marvel park attractions.
Oh.
These are theme park attractions.
Right, that have
just
been
based on Marvel comics that Disney decided not to go with. So examples include
Yeah,
Iron Man, the Captain Morgan interactive adventure,
that sounds like fun.
and the Incredible Dr. Banner's Gamma Radiation Roulette.
Yeah, I think that's a thing. Like you walk in and it's like, I don't know, maybe it'll be just a few rads, maybe be like a lot of rads of gamma rays.
Yeah, or
and maybe you get cancer, maybe you don't.
Yeah, maybe there's like 6 chambers, and only one of them actually has real gamma radiation flowing through it.
Maybe.
So it's kind of like a Russian roulette kind of thing.
Yes.
Yeah.
Radiation roulette with crazy Dr. Banner.
Yes, when you guys said that, I thought it was great, but I couldn't think of one off bat. But I did come up with someone you wouldn't want to be, like a character you wouldn't want around the park.
Fair enough.
Giving hugs.
Okay.
Marrow.
With all those bones sticking out?
Yeah, with all those bones sticking out. Or
Yeah.
if she's just not in the mood and then she pops them out.
There you go.
There you go.
There you go.
That's, you know, kitty deaths.
Nice.
And that leads us right into the news.
Oh, I like news.
Was I ready for that, Ed?
I'm sorry.
I should have gave
kidding.
you one of these. I found this thing. Remember this thing? This flashcard?
Yeah.
The news flashcard? News o'clock.
So Disney.
Yeah, I've heard of them.
Yeah, so they've
company.
they've announced a bunch of Marvel Universe experiences
Yes.
that they're going to be installing into their theme parks around the world.
Around the world.
Yeah. So,
All around the world.
You know, a couple things.
You mean I'll be able to get into an Iron Man suit and fly around the park?
Virtually, maybe.
Oh, that's not the same.
That's not the same.
Well, if you go to Disney's California Adventure in Disneyland.
Let me interject though. Have you ever seen the?
You want to see how long we can keep interrupting him?
But this is kind of like ties into just what you both just said, because they should put in a thing like they have in Vegas where you can go down the zip line,
Right.
where you go over the whole strip. Have you seen this?
Yeah.
You go down the whole length of the strip on
On a zip line?
several blocks anyway. I don't know how long
Well,
it is.
the strip is only a few blocks long.
Fair enough.
It's like 3-4 blocks.
Fair
And in the
enough.
rest of Vegas, you don't want to be in.
Point taken. But at Disney, they should just let you climb into a giant Iron Man suit. That like it's the same thing, except it's just a harness, like you know what I mean. But it's like a suit, and you can move your arms and your legs and pretend you're flying.
Yeah, kind of like it would actually kind of be like almost like sitting on one of those ski lift rides.
Actually, you know what? They would just make a roller coaster, and it'd just be like
the Iron Man roller.
and you just kind of like you're flying. You're kind of on the underside of the roller coaster for most of the time.
They got to keep reusing all those pieces from the other roller coasters that don't work out.
We're gonna paint the green, and it's
they
for
really
the Hulk.
they really like the guy who designs all the roller coasters for them, so they want to keep him working.
There you go.
So
Back to you, Ed.
So as I was saying, in Disney's California Adventure, they already have Guardians of the Galaxy Mission Breakout. Which is
Yeah, I heard that's
attraction,
really good.
Which I think replaced Twilight Zone's Tower of Terror, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
But that's going to be joined by Spider-Man and the Avengers in what's going to be like a completely immersive universe that's going to take over the spot that's currently used by A Bug's Land. So if you're a Bug's Life fan,
Oh my God.
sorry.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah.
all you Bugs Life.
It sounds like that one was overdue to get moved. Because
Yeah.
I was going to be telling, if he didn't say something about Bug's Life,
You were gonna write a letter.
I was going to be like, no, I was going to interrupt that and say, hey, you know what would be nice if they actually spent some money and got new stuff for their new rides, but and their new experience. But they're.
There's some of it, it's like a 50-50.
Some of it they really need to get rid of.
Yeah.
You know?
Some of
So
it's
I-
about cleaning house.
Yeah, so I totally understand getting rid of Bug's Life.
Yeah.
Let's just squash that right now.
Sure.
Yeah.
Ah.
Also, Disneyland Paris is going to have a hyperkinetic Avengers adventure. That's going to include Iron Man.
They're going to give everybody giant cups of like Red Bull and
The kids love
and
hyperkinetic.
Starbucks.
Yeah.
Before they go inside. I don't understand
Yeah.
what hyperkinetic means in reference to an
Sounds like
experience and a
It sounds like
ride.
something in a Mountain Dew commercial, though. I get you. It does sound like hyperkinetic flavor.
Yeah, they're also going to have a Summer of Superheroes live action show.
Oh, that'll be terrible.
It's Disneyland Paris.
These things are always terrible.
Well,
Like,
Disneyland Paris is terrible.
that's
so.
true. That's.
I am Mickey Mouse. Fuck you,
I am
American.
Even worse. I am Captain America. Look at my mustache.
And
I smell very ripe.
and Hong Kong Disneyland will have a new themed area that will have guests team up with Ant-Man and the Wasp.
All right.
All
right.
That's going to join Hong Kong's Iron Man Experience. Which
There
will
you
be
go.
next year.
But
You think they're doing Ant-Man and the Wasp in Asia because their masks are
kind of obscure their faces.
their faces, and
Probably maybe
they
a
can
little
get
bit of
away
that.
with they can get away with them over there.
I could see those
but
two.
They're not really A-listers.
No, but the Japanese they like a lot of quirk,
Yeah.
kind of like stuff in their stuff, and they love you know, hey, if you shrink and grow large,
That's true.
it's like
they
you know,
started that.
Oh my God, you know,
Yeah.
man in suit stuff. You know,
Yeah.
can you stomp through the city, please?
Yeah.
Just come by, just come by, knock
Yeah.
some buildings down.
That's
We
very
love
true.
that.
That's very true.
Like if you could just make anybody do that.
When you think about it, they really are appropriate. I take that back. but it doesn't hurt that you don't have to worry about them being Caucasian.
Oh no,
or
yeah,
African American,
absolutely,
black or
right. Anybody's in the costume. It's
right.
like an appeal for Spider-Man too for a lot of people. It's
Both
always
be
been
girl,
like,
Wasp could be a guy.
You know what I mean?
In the suit,
You know?
playing a girl. You know.
Hey, no, who knows? Maybe it's a white
the other-
Anglo-Saxon Protestant.
Yeah, or the other way around.
There you go.
Yeah.
A wisp. I got you.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just keep it moving, Ned.
Okay. So
Ignore us at certain points.
there were trailers that came out this week.
Right.
For Deadpool.
Deadpool 2.
Deadpool 2.
More Deadpooling.
TP2.
I don't know what it's called.
I've been brain farting all weekend over that one. I have not been able to actually see it.
Kind of keep forgetting. I hear that though. I kind of forgot I even watched it because it was like a couple days ago, and I'm
And
shocked.
then when I came in, you said
Yeah.
I should really watch
What
it.
is that? How it went down? I think it was like you asked me, like, "Oh,
Are there
should
any
I
trailers I have to watch? And you said Deadpool 2.
Is in the doc.
Well, you gotta,
Yeah, it's in the doc.
So
and-
it was like a
Yeah.
non-committal kind of thing.
Yeah, but it was I already saw the other Deadpool trailer,
Right.
Which was much more,
Fair enough.
which was much more.
Deadpool.
Yeah, well, and that I don't think it showed you a lot of the movie.
No, it was stuff that they shot just for the trailer, kind
Yeah.
of goofy bit stuff. Yeah. That's fair.
And this one was really just a straight up.
Straight up,
trailer.
here's Cable.
And they laid out the story for you and everything
Right.
else. And you were asking me what I thought of Cable, and I don't really have much to say.
Well, it was actually, I kind of feel like maybe I was asking, I know that's what I said, but it was like, I kind of feel like more about like Brolin. Like, I don't mean like I didn't mean it in like an essence of like, hey, is he living up to the comic book or does it capture any of that? Because I don't think you have a barometer for that really, because like it's Cable, first of all. Like, what do you have to be, granted? But my point was just kind of like, I don't know if it was working or not. I kind of felt it was like a little, like I get that he's supposed to be stiff or something, but he sounded like he didn't know how to. He almost didn't sound like he knew how to read lines. All right, I'll just say it.
I mean, I'll be honest with you. That's Josh Brolin.
Fair enough. You got me. You got me.
You know, I mean, if you see
That's
him,
true. In old country, right?
He's one of those guys. He's got that square jaw and that head. He looks like a great noir character. Like this guy was just like born to be like a
his head looks like it's chiseled out of fucking stone or something.
He looks like he was drawn by Frank Miller.
Yeah, well, Joe Jusko.
Yeah,
he does have that Jay Leno chin going on. He's
got some. Yeah,
it looks like it's about 2 inches deeper.
He does look like Thanos. Let's just, he does.
But a lot of his stuff, just lacks charisma.
Yeah, well, he's flat. He's flat. He's kind of,
He's very flat.
Right, which is why he's good for cable.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, he's deadpan.
Yeah, there is a sense of humor in there. Sorry, I'm sorry.
I know.
There is a sense of humor in there. You can find in movies like Little Caesar or Inherent Vice, but it's very, very hard.
It's a thin line.
Right,
it's a very fine
movie file moment right there. Yeah. My bigger concern, and again, I haven't seen the latest trailer, is his appearance as Cable.
Yeah.
Is not as colorful.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I mean, he does look like someone who's been in war, and his clothes are dirty. He's dirty.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He's tired. He's worn out. All that.
The costume is more grounded.
Yeah, it's a lot more grounded, and I'm wondering if it might be a little too grounded because you're talking about being next to someone like Negasonic Teenage Warhead. And she's in a full X-Men outfit. You know what I mean? Right. You could get away with a little more.
Yeah, they could. They definitely could. And that's the thing.
I'm sorry. I appreciate. I just want to say I appreciate the aesthetic value for the because they're keeping this movie. They're not blowing up the budget and all that. So I get that whole thing, but I think they still could have done a little more. Give him a little more blue. Give him a blue coat.
Just a little more personality. Like he doesn't need to have like a spot-on costume, right? But like he's very basic in his design for this.
Friggin' vest with a hoodie. Or something.
Just something a little more iconic, kind of in a way.
Something that kind of at least hints to the color scheme that you're used to seeing.
Well, there's that too.
That's kind of where I was going.
Fair enough.
You know what I mean?
Some upper torso patch of blue somewhere.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You know what I mean?
No, yeah, fair enough. And in this,
let's see him polishing his arm.
You want him with the giant shoulder pad thing that, like, when he first pops up, the big V-shaped shoulder.
The shoulder pads
thing.
They look like hockey gear.
I think he's got at least 16 pouches, so that's all that matters, really.
I still think Stephen Lang would have been a better choice.
I kind of agree. Still,
physically, absolutely, absolutely, and maybe after talking about how he's coming across to you, Bill, in this latest trailer, maybe even as a better actor.
I would say that from what I've seen in the trailer, like, there's no reason why Lang wouldn't have been just as impressive. You know what I mean? If not more so. You know what I mean? Like, I don't think there's anything in there that, like, at least from the trailer, like, that seems like, oh, that's a, he's bringing something unique right there. Like, I don't feel like that.
Yeah, and Stephen Lang would have really appreciated the role because we're talking about Thanos here.
Right.
You know what I mean?
It's like, come on, Brolin, how much you need? How much do we got to give this guy?
Really, how much in the Marvel universe you really got to take up?
You know what I mean? Come on. So
you're not Denzel Washington here.
I mean, come on. Yeah. So that's that. The trailer's out. Go give it a check if you haven't checked it already.
Yeah. Bill, you want to take this next story?
There was an old woman who lived in a shoe, and according to reports, she had like a lot of kids, and she wasn't sure what to do about it.
She just didn't have cable TV, so
Yeah, I mean,
nothing better to do.
Basically. So there's a movie coming out.
Okay.
It's called Captain Marvel, but they're making this other movie. Called Shazam.
Yes.
And Shazam is based on a character that used to be called Captain Marvel.
His name is Captain Marvel.
Right. Got that?
I do, but I don't think anybody else does.
That's fine. Anyway, they got a poster. A poster came out this week, like the logo poster. Am I mixing this up?
Now, is this the Captain Marvel poster, or is this
I should have even gotten into
Shazam poster?
I should have even went down that rabbit hole.
Or is this the Captain Marvel Shazam poster?
That's correct.
Yeah, no, so the Shazam movie released its logo, and then they put that logo on a poster and said it was a poster.
Fair enough. Yeah.
So
that's the thing.
If Captain Marvel, hooked up with Captain Marvel, from DC.
that would be statutory rape.
How would you?
Depending on the era. Yeah.
How would you address everybody in that crossover?
I don't know, but when Captain Marvel eventually arrives, that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Then
Because once you bring hyphens into everything,
Yeah.
that just changes the landscape, and they're all going to be in trouble.
This is getting confusing.
No. Not until Mary Marvel gets there.
Right.
And
You can't forget about her.
Then all of a sudden it's like there's a 10-year-old in the room, and it's like, what?
And of course, you
shouldn't
got to
be
remember
here.
that there's a Marvel Comics involved. In
Oh,
this.
well, you know.
Isn't this marvelous?
It was.
So where are we going now with this?
I don't know. Just mentioning that there's a
Off a
poster.
cliff?
I think we did that. Now we're just trying to swim back to the surface. I think there's a poster out there. There's a logo. It's all right. It looks good. It doesn't look too.
What do you think, Bob?
It's nothing. It's cool.
Oh, actually, I didn't realize that was part of a poster. I saw that as a picture,
Sure.
just like floating around.
Right.
In ads I was seeing and stuff like that. On my
Crop
phone.
down to just the logo,
Yeah, just
probably.
crop down just the
Yeah.
logo. And I said, okay, if that's the logo, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, it is. It is. I like it. I mean, it's simple as hell.
Yeah, but you know what? If there's one thing we've been learning from all the Marvel movie posters, simple is better.
Simple is always better.
You know, because
Yeah.
you can only do so much with people, in action poses on a poster. Before,
Yeah. A bunch of floating heads.
Before it becomes insane.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So sometimes simple is better.
It's capital letters. It's got the lightning bolt behind the Z, the classic symbol, and it's got an exclamation point in there. So
I heard Freddie Mercury's coming back from the dead to do the soundtrack. No.
Frankie Mogwai in the chat wants to know: isn't there a DC TV podcast for this shit?
no, that's for movies.
Sure, that's not Jay.
Sounded like him, right?
Kinda.
Yeah, that's for TV shows. This is a movie.
Okay,
Yeah,
fair enough. Yeah. So, right, we can't. You guys don't talk movies over there, so you gotta talk over here.
When it
well,
comes out, well, we report on them.
Fair enough.
It's
right.
the DC TV.
Gotcha. All right, there you go. That's clarified.
Not movie.
Yeah, right. See,
TV.
Agent Palmer's on the move here. He's like, Frankie, that's TV. This is a movie. And now Frankie's yelling at Palmer. Good times in the chat room.
Sounds like a fun place.
All right.
So what do we got? What's next?
Next up is
Yeah. So Astro City.
Sure, the comic
Okay.
book.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kurt Busiek. It was published by Image for a while. Popped up in the 90s.
Alex Ross, right?
Alex Ross, yes, did a lot of the character designs and almost all of the covers, I believe.
Phenomenal art right there.
Phenomenal.
Beautiful, gorgeous.
It's just
That's
Statuesque.
Yeah, that's the kind of art that makes artists go, okay, now I just got to put down my paints
Yeah, and just go cry
in a corner
and quit. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like one of the best. Like if you really haven't ever seen Alex Ross artwork, like you probably have, you just don't know it, maybe
Right,
kind of a thing.
yeah,
you don't know who that guy is, but you've seen his work.
It's a definitive style.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's watercolor. It's like Norman Rockwell-ish kind of real,
Almost
photorealistic. Photorealistic.
Right. Photorealism as done in water paint.
Sure.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Watercolor.
Watercolor.
Yeah. But anyway, point being that it's gotten optioned for a TV series.
Fremantle Media North America, which is the same same company that produced American Gods.
Hey, they did a pretty good job with that. I mean, hey, season 2 behind the scenes is rocky, but that's just because people are coming and going.
Yeah, and
But
But if the showrunner from season 1 of American Gods is involved with this,
well, that would be great. Yeah, I don't know.
all right, because season 1 of American Gods is fucking phenomenal. For anyone who hasn't watched it, go watch it. Stop listening, go watch it.
Hey, no.
All right,
I mean,
well,
when you're done
go
here,
watch it.
yeah.
write that down,
Yeah,
American
Gods.
and then later.
Watch it.
Yeah, so they have the screen rights and they're developing it as a live-action TV drama series. It has not been picked up by a network yet, so they're just announcing we have the rights, and they're probably going to be pitching it to different networks, see if someone picks up. And I think this is a good shot.
Right. All right.
Yeah, well, right now, there's a lot of coming up with ideas and seeing what sticks.
Right.
Because we're at a point now with all this creativity coming on.
We got to give everything a different spin.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? In order to make it stick.
We have
down.
so much of it that there's got to be variety. There's got to be creativity involved.
Yeah, like if it's going to be superhero stuff now, it's got to start to thrive on being a different approach. Like that's why Legion is great. Legion is coming back
Dude,
next month.
I'm sorry to
No, I know it's tangent, but
saw the commercial for
the new
that,
preview for it. Oh,
and This is the first commercial that I have seen that I have actually been like, fuck yeah.
You got excited, like,
Yeah.
right? Like, oh yeah, that's coming
Absolutely.
back. Yeah, it's funny, right?
Yeah, it's because if you saw last season, that's another one. When you're done watching this, go watch that.
We're giving you some homework.
Yeah. You're seeing where it's going to go. You just in that 30-second clip, you kind of have an idea of what you're going to see.
So
you just know the level of insanity is going to come up another notch.
So the reason I bring that up is just that, like, in general, like, these shows, like, you know, we're starting to get some stuff that's like, you know, the Marvel Netflix stuff kind of is very basic and kind of like it's doing other things. It's doing like little genre kind of touches, but it's not really kind of going hard and saying like, let's give people something different. But Astro City might be like that. I kind of think of it because it's like the comic book was anthology kind of stylized stories from within a city of superheroes that had superheroes in it.
Yeah.
So like if you kind of imagine like Twilight Zone tied to a location with some kind of cross-connecting characters and storylines, probably a little bit tangentially. That's like probably like, hey, here there's a history here,
Right.
Yeah.
and we're gonna slowly kind of just show you stories from it.
Yeah.
Which it sounds like a great setup.
Oh, absolutely.
A different approach,
you
you know?
can do a whole bunch of different things.
Yeah.
And you're not stuck with one style.
One set of characters
Right.
or anything. Like the show
you
can go
You can do a Stranger Things where every season you're focusing on different groups of people.
one character, one episode.
Yeah.
These kinds of crazy,
Really.
weird stories.
You can just come out of left field with someone who had nothing to do with anything that went on for the last 10 episodes and make a story center around them.
And you could also do kind of like a Fargo thing where you do like season 1
Blocks.
set in the 90s, another season set during World War II.
Got all these eras. There's a lot of potential there. I hope it really works out and becomes something special because it's a lot of potential.
Yeah, if they do it right, it's a home run.
Now, Palmer's asking in the chat if this is going to be covered by the DC TV report.
Right. Did you look into that?
Well, we have a discussion to have.
Because it at one time was published by these guys and then by those
It
guys?
was originated it was originally an Image comic in the mid 90s, then moved over to Homage Comics for a while, and it's been at DC since 2004.
Because it was under Wildstorm?
Yeah, Wildstorm and then later Vertigo.
So maybe if I can just give you a suggestion, put it to the Twitter, put a poll.
Or at the very least, talk to your co-host about it.
Get your fans going.
Probably should, because we did not cover this news. It won't be in the DC because I just found out about this like literally when I walked in.
Right.
So
and it's not like you need another show over there.
Actually, yeah. You know what? Talk to her first.
yeah. Well, also it's being
Run it
shot
by the boss.
And then put the poll out.
Yeah, it's in development and it's not attached to a network. So there's
it's early game.
There's like a right now, based on natural odds.
3 years, 2 years out?
Well, that, but also there's probably like a 2% chance of it happening, period.
Fair enough.
Yeah, this is in the very, very early stages of development.
Yeah.
Right.
Because someone's going to buy it, then they've got to read a pilot script, then they got to pay to get that pilot made.
Time.
Right.
And each of those is like a 1 in 100 proposition.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
There you go. So with that, high hopes, but moving on.
Yeah.
Moving on.
We got anything else? Or
Got one more last one here. Chris Evans is basically done playing Captain America.
Yeah, I saw that.
And, he's kind of hinting at it in this recent interview that basically, he's done skis.
He's done.
I mean, it could be a renegotiation thing, but it kind of doesn't seem like it. Like the tone doesn't really kind of feel like it.
Well, as an actor, you want to move on.
Yeah.
And, let's be honest, Cap, although he's an iconic character, isn't the most... He doesn't have a whole lot of depth.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So as an actor, for a while, sure, it's a great paycheck. It's a great experience.
Right.
It's great for your face and your name.
Yeah.
So you do it. I think after a while, though, you got to move on.
I sometimes wonder about the movies, and I sit there and I think, if they hadn't brought Bucky back in the last, 20 years, because that was a thing they were never going to do. Marvel was... The two people you weren't going to ever see brought back from the dead were Uncle Ben, Peter Parker's Uncle Ben, and Bucky. Like, those two characters had to exist as dead characters because of the pathos of the origin stories of those other characters. Like, those are those crosses to bear.
Right.
So when Bucky finally came back, and it came back in a cool way, it was like, oh shit.
Right.
But it just says something about Captain America as a character where it's like, oh, okay, we're gonna bring him to the movies. We got to do the Bucky stuff because that's all we got. Like, you know what I mean?
Right.
It's like the best main thing we could do with him. So I almost wonder sometimes in the back of my head, like, oh, if you didn't do the Bucky shit, like, what would you have done with Cap? Where would you have ended up? Like, what would you have tied him into to kind of give his storyline any kind of like thing. Like, you know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
You would have to have a lot of other characters in the movie.
Yeah.
You know
You'd have
what
to
I mean?
focus just on mission and like personal backstory stuff, where I guess would have been just null.
Well, like what? Because you've been reading him
For years.
For years. What kind of stuff from the John Byrne run? Because that's the run I always hear about from like the 80s. Is there anything there that they could have?
Is that you
picked
fiddling
from?
with the thing?
Yeah.
Okay,
Is
cool.
it-
Because that sounded like a mouse chewing to
Was
the wall.
John Byrne the one when he quit and he became the captain?
I don't think no, Byrne wasn't on it. Mike Zeck did the cover. I think it was Grunwald.
Right.
was
Because I was actually
writing
thinking
it.
that might be a storyline you could use as a movie.
Well, they kind of gave you that flavor of it, where like, you know, now he's just not working for
Right.
Shield or the government at all. But I
Right.
thought we were gonna get like this really hard scene of him like really kind of like handing over the shield and this big moment at the end of this.
Yeah.
But it ended up in that same basic place anyway.
That's right. Now,
But him getting called up in front of Congress, like kind of a thing. Well, not Congress, like behind closed doors tribunal. And it was like, you know, they gave him the ultimatum. They were like, you know, you work the Shield, the Image, the whole thing. It's all us. It's ours. Like, you worked for us. Like, you know what I mean? Like, either
Right,
you.
yeah.
So now either you work for us or, you know, whatever. You turn it over.
Right.
Like, you know, so he hands over the shield and the costume. He's like, well, I'm done being Captain America. He just quits. You know what I mean? This is like being forced to give up your ideals and shit, like as a flat other thing. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean? But I think what they could do, probably should do, is like the whole storyline of how like Bucky takes over for Cap as Cap, like takes on the mantle, or Falcon, who's done it,
Yeah.
who's recently done it too in the comics.
Right. Yeah.
And then eventually when Cap comes back, however they bring him back, that's when you recast.
Yeah.
Well,
Because it's been some
I don't
time.
know. You know what I've been thinking lately, especially after reading this? I'm thinking Cap is the guy, is one of the big ones that dies and they don't bring back.
Well, maybe.
So just so that they can have other people as Cap.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And we get this
You know
period
what
of
I mean?
time where these other two guys are Cap.
Right. And I'm thinking that we're getting a buildup of Bucky now with the whole Black Panther is the perfect timing.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he's going to end up involved. We know he's in the next two Avengers movies. So if Cap dies, he takes the mantle, him or Falcon.
Yeah, so I mean, James kind of hits it with the question here. He's like, so will Cap get recast and demoted to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. cameo type character? Where like you just see him like every once in a while. Kind of, in
Maybe.
a way. I think, although I think what they should do is not leave him like Nick Fury, like just how Nick is just like wandering the earth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like kill him, and then figure out some way to bring him back, much like they did in the
Right.
comics.
Well,
Don't do it exactly like how they did in the comics, because that shit was all time travel in the end and
I think-
wacky shit.
I think they can at this point just use the Captain America title
Yeah. Oh
and
yeah.
find
Yeah.
other people, and it's not a problem in the movies.
Oh yeah.
Not in the comics.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I'm at with this.
Well, that's what I mean. They should do
if
that
they
too.
if they
and then
wanted
keep
to
him
bring
dead
it back.
forever.
Yeah, that's what I'm.
Yeah.
Then they can just so either.
He never-
and that's my whole point.
Steve Rogers never comes
There's no
back.
right. There's no reason to pull that. We've brought him back from the dead 10
Right,
years later.
right,
crap.
yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
That's a fair point.
because it's a title.
Yeah.
You know, and
Let
we've-
him go
we've
down
al-
as a
and
martyr,
they've already
right.
used it as a title. You know.
Sure.
So
Build statues and shit.
well, no, not even that. I mean, when they say just when they took his title away from him
Right.
in what was it, Civil War?
At the end, well, no. At the end, when he, it's at the end of Civil War, they arrested him because he kind of like gives
Right,
up. He
right.
turns
So
himself
it was
in.
the end of the one before that.
So, but when he's going up the stairs, he gets sniper shot, and that's how he gets killed. You know what I mean? And then in the end, when they finally bring him back, it turns out some other shit happened. You know, they do some retcon kind of hocus pocus bullshit.
Right.
But before that, when he quit, he just kind of quit. And
Right.
a couple other times he just gave up, and like that's how the identity of Nomad started.
Right.
That was Cap's first
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
other
So
identity.
I think what they end up doing as far as S.H.I.E.L.D., they use Cap's death as a way for them to try to bring in someone like the Patriot.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Give the mantle to Falcon or to Bucky,
Right.
but like, we need a soldier for us.
know what would
now.
be great,
So
though?
they bring in the Patriot.
Super Patriot. You know what would be great if they did that? If they were like, nah, boys, it's ours. We can't give it to you, Bucky. And because you guys are both fucking, been on the run. We got to give it to someone we can trust. We're going to give it to this extra roided up, sugar augmented
And you know
strength, insano.
who's the perfect person to play
this
him?
character called John Walker.
John Cena.
Yes! John Cena.
John Cena as the Super Patriot.
As Super Patriot, who becomes Captain America for a while, goes crazy, snaps too many necks, and then
Absolutely.
they
Absolutely.
fake the government kills him,
He's on
fakes
the
his death.
upswing now with his acting career.
Yeah, and then he becomes U.S. agent.
Just bring him in for that. Bring him in for one movie.
That's it. You know.
I'd be up for that. I also,
I saw your
like
face.
that.
You were like, yeah, that's actually kind of cool.
yeah. I also feel like Marvel has to set the precedent where like passing off these mantles.
Yeah.
You know, they've got to take the James Bond approach.
Well, that's it. At some level,
and
just
that's
kind
like-
of do it and don't make a. It's going to be hard for them not to make a big deal out of it because that's all we do. That's the whole part of the whole fandom and all that shit. It gets dissected and everything gets talked about ad nauseum. But
there is proof of concept because Terrence Howard was
unceremoniously switched.
Was Colonel Rhodes in the first movie, and then all of a sudden he became Don Cheadle.
Right.
And we're all better off for that.
Yeah, we're all better off for that. You know. You know. I mean, he threatened the suit in the first one. I'll be back for you, or whatever he says to the suit. He's like, "I'm gonna get you next time." You know, he says some kind of like threat. The suit's like, and the suit like kind of like bent inward, like.
You ever read that gossip?
Oh, like how that all went down?
Yeah, well, like evidently he made more money than Downey in the first one.
No way.
Because he was hotter at the time. He was
enough.
He was fresh off an Oscar nomination.
All right.
He was on the up and up, and then just things came to a head, and he still wanted to get paid more than Downey for the second one.
And it was like,
and
come
he was
on,
just pulling
like,
shenanigans, and then just went, oh, "Fuck you, we'll just take you."
Come on, you know.
You know, which just tells you he's probably not fun to hang with.
No.
You know,
Probably why. Well, and that burned him for a while.
yeah.
He's lucky he found more work, and it's that kind of like now back into like a little bit of a resurgence.
Well, yeah, he's got Empire, so he's on, and that's,
yeah, but I mean, like that. But once he got Empire, that kind of brought him back. He's getting like, he's got some other things going around cooking.
Mm-hmm.
He managed to resurge. I mean, afterwards a little bit, like it hurt him for a little bit, it seemed, but he managed to bounce back.
Yeah.
Which is rare, which is hard sometimes.
Yeah, I know.
But I bet you if it was a different project, like if it wasn't like a comic book Marvel thing, like that would have stung him in Hollywood a little bit more. I bet you they're like, yeah, but that was like some comic book fucking property.
It was an early Marvel movie.
Yeah.
When we get off air, I could tell you some things.
Oh yeah.
I know someone.
You know some people who might
know something.
I got you. All right.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
All right.
So we're going to hear about that in the after show then.
All right.
No.
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 Maybe in the in-between show.
No. I'm not getting sued.
I'm not getting sued.
He listens.
Maybe I'm making it all up. Who knows? All right. So I think that's gonna round out the news then.
All right.
Right. We got some chat room shenanigans.
Yes.
I think the kids, as I lovingly refer to them.
Yeah, we had a chat game, which was rejected Marvel theme park attractions.
Yeah.
So let's just run them down quick. We had Spider-Man, 6 Degrees of Stickiness.
Oh.
Deadpool's Glory Hole.
Yeah.
The Punisher Shooting Gallery.
That sounds practical.
But not really kid-friendly.
Yeah, not really
Not
kid-friendly.
really family-friendly.
I mean, it depends. I mean, if we're just training, then we have then you get some other problem. But if we're shooting, like, actual perps.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, maybe in after hours. Maybe it's probably like a nighttime only.
Yeah, we're gonna hand your kid a gun, and he gets to run in any of your.
Hey, it's 13 and up.
All right.
Okay.
The Hulk.
It's like paintball.
I mean, come on.
The Hulk sends you to the moon.
Nice.
The Professor Xavier wheelchair drag race.
No foul, you're floating.
Actually, that one might actually get made. But just make sure that it's an all-inclusive.
Yeah. It's all about special, special needs people.
Yeah, Wolverine's massage parlor. Band-Aids cost extra.
Oh, they're jacking the price on those Band-Aids.
Doc Ock's sushi stand.
Yeah.
Daredevil's sunglass hut.
They're all ugly, right? Because if it's Daredevils, he can't see what they look like.
But these aren't rides.
No, well, they're just, attractions.
Yeah.
They're Marvel Park attractions.
Sunglass Hut is an attraction.
If it's got Daredevil working it, and like I'm attracted to the fact that I can get cheap sunglasses. I give him $1, and he thinks it's a 20.
It's all part of the
I
experience.
don't know, man. He can actually.
That's true. It's Daredevil. I can feel it, with his fingertips, right?
Really.
It's all part of the experience, Audrey.
Fair enough.
Dorian Gray's House of Mirrors.
Who? Dorian Gray ain't in this
No,
universe.
he's a literary character. Bucky Barnes' train ride.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ant-Man bug spray escape.
Okay.
All right.
Storm's hurricane experience.
Yeah. Well, that could be fucked up if it's just her. People are gonna get hurt.
Sasquatch's hair salon.
Aw.
Is Sasquatch in the Marvel?
There is a Sasquatch character. I don't know if it's like a literal Sasquatch or if it's just called Sasquatch, but it's called Sasquatch, and it's part of the whole Canadian Alpha Flight backstory.
Yeah, he's related to the Swamp Thing.
Man thing.
It's
Different company, and it's not really related.
Okay, and it's not the same Sasquatch from $6 Million Man.
No. The one that gave me kind of like.
Let me tell you something.
That's a nightmarish.
That reveal.
That reveal, bro. When he takes off his face.
Oh my! And you find out he's a robot.
Bro, it's like, yo, double
he's
whammy.
bionic too.
It's like, how's that? Wait a minute.
And that was after like half the people in the episode were revealed to be robots too.
Yeah, really. Like, it's like, might as well.
Green Goblin's gas chamber.
Ooh. Not good for the kids.
And the Hulk's stink face.
That's not good. Like, is that like Raishiki? You know what I mean? From wrestling?
Yeah, pretty much.
Probably.
You mean Rikishi Fatu?
There you go. I thought that shows you how much I know. Good stuff, kids. Good stuff. Woo. What do we?
Next up is the Meanwhile.
We do meanwhiles.
Yeah.
Is that a thing we do?
Mm-hmm. Sometimes.
Sometimes. Like every week. What do you mean sometimes?
Yeah.
Meanwhile,
Edward.
So yeah, I went to the movies.
Good for you.
Mm-hmm. I went to see Tomb Raider.
Did you have popcorn?
No.
Did you have a snacky snack?
I think I had a drink.
Did you raid any tombs?
No, but I watched Lara Croft do it, and
Did it make you want to raid tombs?
No, it looked very dangerous.
That sounds like a question that might be on the questionnaire. Did this movie make you want to raid tombs? Like, you know,
I
check, like, somewhat, very much. No, not really. Started over from the beginning, but
So yeah, so I went to see Tomb Raider.
Right.
In the movie theaters, and I liked it very much.
Sure.
Alicia Vikander. This one's much more grounded.
Right.
And it really makes, with the tone and everything else, makes the Angelina Jolie movies kind of look like Joel Schumacher Batman movies. It has that. There's a real kind of.
Yeah, it gets like that, like a little campy almost.
No. I'm saying it makes the Angelina Jolie movies look like that.
Oh,
Like,
I'm sorry, I missed it.
Yeah,
Okay.
You realize like those had that kind of tone.
Yeah.
This steps it up to a whole new level.
Okay.
It's much more believable. Really good special effects, good stunt work, and I like the way that they laid out the story.
Okay.
And you get to learn about her. Not so. I mean, there is exposition and everything, but the way that she interacts with people,
Right.
You know, and they lay it out like a video game, and you see her going through all of these chase scenes and all of these fight scenes.
Right.
But it makes sense with the plot of the story. It cracks
Okay.
it in a cool way. You know, it's not perfect. There's some things off, but overall, I enjoyed this, and I would highly recommend it. This is a. This is a high cash.
High cash.
High cash.
How's Goggins?
Goggins is the man. Walton Goggins, and like no hint of his character from Vice Principals in this. Like, he is dead serious,
fair enough.
like really scary.
Right.
And like this guy does not give a fuck.
I saw a thing that was like
He just wants to go home, and he will fucking kill you if he has to.
that Walter Goggins might have made it might become a noun. Goggins, like to give it the Goggins, kind of like the other Goggins approach.
I did notice that in the trailer, because I haven't seen the movie yet, there's actually a lot of stuff from the last couple of video games that they kind of like
That's
use.
the whole tone and approach.
Yeah. So they don't use them necessarily exactly the same way, but you definitely know what you're looking at.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that they are trying to definitely tie it in.
Yeah. Because I played it through too, and that whole sequence with the plane.
Yeah.
Like there is this kind of similar thing going on where the plane is
that's almost
stuck
exactly.
on the waterfall, and maybe the running and jumping is from a different angle or a different point.
Yeah.
She's on the
That's
wing
about it,
in the
yeah.
movie, and I don't know. I think it's
At some point, you do have to cross the wings.
Yeah.
But
in the game.
at some point, you're whatever you're doing on the plane causes it to fall a little bit.
Sure,
So you can't
of
use
course.
one part of that anymore, of course. So at one point you can't walk over the wings anymore, I think. And you have to walk through the fuselage.
Right, and then you're coming up the middle, and that's when it starts to go too.
Right.
Like,
But so at one point, one way of going forward is blocked now because you can't use the wing anymore, so you have to go around the other way.
Although that is the one thing about this movie. She does have superhuman leaping ability.
Sure. Like everything is the greatest leap of all time.
Yeah. I think
now I'm going to do another one. But I need 2 more inches.
Yeah, I think the kids call it hops.
Hops.
She has hops.
She has hops?
She has hops.
She's got mad hops, yo?
Mad hops.
I got you.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I can see it.
Very parkour influence.
Right. Is that what they're saying? All the basketball kids are saying? Is that where you're getting it from? Is that a thing?
Yeah.
Hops.
Oh, okay.
All the time you spend out in the court, right?
Like Michael Jordan had mad hops?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, well, I mean, what I spent out on the court when I was a kid.
Right.
Like 3rd grade.
Gotcha. I was a kid for 1 year. When I was a kid for 3rd grade. That was my last year of being a kid. After that, I was 55. All right, so all right, cool. Because I'll tell you this much: like that's a movie that's kind of like getting like decent buzz, but I thought maybe that would have kind of come in a little lower from you in particular, and I'm glad to see that either the movie was better than that or
was it better than you expected it to be when you went to see it?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, just because video game movies as a whole are not a proven genre.
No, it's been a while for one of them to really kind of break.
Yeah, Tomb Raider was one of the only ones that really did it at all.
Yeah.
I mean, tell us if we're wrong in the chat room, but off the top of my head, I'm trying to think of like movies based on video games. Primarily, they were video games first, and like somehow were good.
I mean, the only real successful franchise I can think of is Resident Evil, and those movies are so different from the games.
I mean, what about the Mortal Kombat franchise? I mean, isn't that a thing?
Oh man.
Good times.
Man. Christopher Lambert.
Oh, Lambert. Listen to you.
Don't forget about the Mario Brothers movie.
We couldn't. We couldn't.
I actually never saw it. Thank you.
Well, you brought it up. So, I don't think you can. Because I thought of it but didn't say it. I thought of it but didn't say it.
I've only ever seen the commercial.
Fair
It's
enough.
probably Bob Hoskins' lowest moment, but it's some of John Leguizamo's finest work.
I don't know. I think his work in Spawn was pretty good.
The amount of talent on screen at one point in that movie.
You could see it. No, because John Leguizamo is trying really hard in that movie.
Yeah.
It shows. And you feel really bad.
He's trying really hard to be Italian.
Oh, man, you think this is a thing?
You think this is going to be it, right, John?
You think this is a thing? And
Look at Bob. Look at Bob. He knows.
He knows.
Bob knows.
He's like, oh, jeez, what the
Just read the lines, kid. Oh, just read the lines, kid. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
Yeah, we'll get to check Tuesday.
I'm Mario, right? I am Italian. And Dennis Hopper's over there like, I don't fucking get it, man. I'm just wearing a fucking weird thing on my head. That's it. All right, so with that,
yeah, and there was another show.
Yes. Oh, that's right. Krypton.
Yeah, a DC TV show.
Krypton music.
It premiered, so I'm going to talk about it.
All right.
We.
I just watched it like 5-10 minutes before this show.
Yeah. So 200 years in the past, Superman's grandfather on Krypton, basically discovers that there's an alien threat.
His great grandfather.
We don't need to know how awesome he is. He's Superman's grandfather.
It's his grandfather.
We know he's Superman.
Well, fair enough. His grandfather discovers that his great-grandfather discovered.
Oh, yeah.
Because that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So that's the thing. It's like generations.
Yeah. Superman's grandfather, Seg-El, discovers that Seg-El's grandfather...
Right. Yes.
Val-El.
Yes.
Yeah. Basically, he's made aware that there's an alien threat coming up against Krypton.
It's coming.
And he's the only one who believes it's happening
right.
and is in a position to stop it.
Yo, bro, in the house.
Yeah. So but it's visually insane. There's like a whole underground class Game of Thrones thing going on here.
Good times on Krypton.
Yeah. So there's so much fanboy service in there that I just overloaded and.
I had to take a break.
Yeah, and Sarah brought me back down to earth a little bit. It's not perfect, but this is just going to be a slobber fest. So, Bill, take over. Let's tell me what you actually saw on that screen.
I saw good stuff. I mean, it was all right. No, I liked it. Like obviously, what I did, I tell you what I did appreciate, because I saw the previews and stuff, and I was like, I thought it was gonna be a little heavier-handed, and it's not like crazy heavy-handed. It's not like
not like the Inhumans.
No.
No. There is humor in this.
There's actual humor in this,
and there's personality
and some likable characters a little bit. You know what I mean?
So you don't get that cardboard taste in your mouth?
Not at all.
No.
Not at all.
I'd like that one.
Yeah.
You know, it's about houses, it's about families, it's that kind of thing. So it's a little bit of like, it's obviously going to be who's helping who's stabbing who in the back, machinations kind of shit.
Yeah.
Is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
A little Game of Thronesy.
Sarah said there was a divergent angle to it that she didn't really like because of all the class structure and everything.
The book
else.
Divergent.
Yes.
You mean there's that series?
Yeah.
Or movies or whatever. Yeah. So it is about that. It is about the classes and all this stuff and your sigils and shit. So it's got like a really kind of different kind of setup and pretext, which is interesting. It holds up. It holds up pretty well. Like I liked the main character enough.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Not a lot. But I think that's more on the actor and the kid's young. It's a pilot. This will all gel a little bit more. A few episodes in, I think.
Yeah.
But really, like I was saying to you before the show, is that the one thing that really gets me to come back, or makes me want to come back, is Brainiac. Is seeing the tease of the big bad for just a hot second, really.
Yeah.
And just this image that we just kind of get to see for a second. But it's like, ooh, he looks good. I mean, like, you know, for a bad guy. Like, you know what I mean? So that's what's got me intrigued. That's what's going to, like I said, that's what's probably going to be bringing me back. If, like, that kind of wasn't there, if it was something, you know, I don't know, something else kind of going on, I don't know if it would have gotten me completely. But the visuals are great. That they spent a ton of money on it.
Yeah.
It looks good. It feels good. It doesn't feel like, oh, this is... I'm not, it doesn't have anything pushing me away. Yeah. I'll say that. You know, that's for sure.
And, you know, with Brainiac, I was saying it's the one character that, like, they've been trying to do live action for, like, 35 years. Like Superman 3.
Yeah.
The villain was originally supposed to be Brainiac.
Yeah, well, you know.
And we ended up with Robert,
Patrick.
Robert Grant.
Robert Urich. I don't know. But let me tell you something. There are some times where I'm happy certain things never got made or never got done, because now, like, if it had failed or been some really kind of like corny looking fucking thing that we all would have ended up pointing at and laughing at, like at the time, or even now looking back nostalgically being like, whoa, look at that hot mess. Like, I'm glad that certain things are a clean slate in a way.
Yeah.
Like, there's no hardcore defined look for Brainiac TV-wise or movie-wise that, like, set the standard. This thing can do its own thing. Like, you know what I mean? And it's like, it's just homaging the darkest versions of it from the comic, too, which is great.
Can they rip off MODOK?
Oh, Marvel? Yeah, you give them time.
No. I'm saying, like, I want to see, like, Brainiac look like MODOK, but just a giant bowl over his brain.
No, they already established.
But yeah. I mean, you know, there's a lot to like in this show.
Jeff Johns is in it.
Yeah, well, yeah. Adam Strange shows up, and he's basically dressed like Jeff Johns shows up at every Comic-Con with the jeans, a leather jacket, a hoodie, and a Detroit Tigers ball cap.
Really?
So I don't know why he just decided to stick himself in the show and call himself Adam Strange, but you know, whatever, it works. And you know, it's funny. You'd think like, oh, this is the one human being in here, so he's gonna have all the jokes. And no, there's still other humor that comes. There's a fun character who works at a bar.
Oh, so he does have jokes.
Yeah, named Kem.
The show does have jokes. Yeah, he really doesn't. He's not deadly serious, but he's not sitting there with like one-liners and making a million 20th century references. Yeah. Although he makes one or two, but that's it. Like, he doesn't get obnoxious about it. Yeah. Which I was great. Like, I didn't really kind of notice it, but I'm glad you pointed that out. Like, because like that's a thing that makes these kinds of things usually like too cheesy or too like kind of like, yeah, you're trying too hard to impress me or something. Yeah. Or like, you don't have to go heavy-handed on a joke or like a character trait approach. Oh, he makes references to present day so you, the audience, know or can relate to him. And it's like, all right, it doesn't have to be every 5 seconds though. Yeah. Like, you know, it doesn't have to be shoehorned in all the time. Like, you know,
just 1 or 2 to let us know and move on.
Yeah, exactly. You know, but anyway, really good. I mean, I'm giving it the old recommendation. If you haven't checked it out, you want something that's kind of like like a Game of Thrones-ish a little bit, but it's like, you know, a different spin on things. Sure. Do you think we'll ever see a thing where he flies?
No, this is Krypton.
Well,
Like, will the show do something silly like that?
well, I mean, there's been talk
Because
of
there's capes
them-
everywhere.
There have been talk of them opening up DC Cosmic, like just bringing all the cosmic characters in here.
Oh, bringing them in through this show, kind of like they could.
like I mean, since Adam Strange is there, he has a connection to Rand, and if Rand's showing up, that means the Thanagarians aren't that far behind.
Fucking Thanagarians, the fucking.
You know,
they're always right there.
So we may see Hawkman come up. Like,
I see Hawkman.
You know, and if you're in space,
With
you know,
Green Lanterns.
oh baby,
Or
you
maybe
know.
just Sinestro.
You know, yeah, or you know, Abin Sur could be Abin Sur. You know,
Oh, who's the other one? Who's the other
To be
one?
fair,
Nort. I want Nort.
Krypton is in Tomar Ray's sector.
Oh, true. Sector 3152A. I remember that one.
How about Space Ghost?
Coast to coast, baby. Anyway, I'm making all that up. But that's what I'm saying is like basically, you know, the show. Oh, we came in loud. Sorry, guys. I got to adjust that volume in the room just a little bit. We were probably blasting them out quite a bit. Sorry.
Yeah. So
There's a thing in the Mixler. When you reload the Mixler, when you come back online,
you gotta reset
it resets the ceiling. Like, you know what I mean?
Right, so you
Yeah, I got to bring it back down with this particular new setup. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
there's that.
there is that, and then there is
yeah, but I could see him being on another planet that has a yellow sun. But I wouldn't expect that until.
I don't know.
Until like season 2.
I forget the context of it, but during the watching of the episode, I kind of had this pang of like I saw something down the line of like them kind of doing like this homage stuff that shows like this will do, like because it's about Superman, like there's a thing that happens that's like not quite like this one aspect of Superman, but it's a touchstone. Like, you know, it's echoes and these kinds of things, you know. But like, if he got to float, you know, they'd play the Superman music. Like, you know what I mean? If there was like, 0G in this room, and I have to get past this. I don't know if that's Superman, but.
But I think theoretically you could have Segel visiting Earth, and that's how Jor-El knows about that planet, and that it would be a good place to send Kal-El.
Segel.
Yes. Segel. It's a play on Jerry Siegel, who is one of the.
All right, we're done.
All right.
That officially ruined the whole show for me.
So you also watched a movie.
I did. I watched a movie that, like, I was told, hey, you know what? You really got to watch this movie.
That Jay really likes.
That Jay really likes.
And I was not so hot on.
And Dom was like, yo, Nocturnal Animals. Even Dom was like, Dominic, you know.
I think one of these storylines is okay, and the other is punch you in the face.
I think
get out
it's
my
one of
face.
these things where it's like,
Get out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
like you don't realize you're watching quite the artistic endeavor until you get to the last scene.
Oh, when you realize that this is made by directed by an artist?
Oh, you mean a fashion designer?
Yeah. Yeah.
Tom Ford's directorial debut, which I love, is like, I've never directed anything. I'm just going to start here, okay, with like I don't know how many millions budget and how many real like top level shelf celebrities, actors, but get these fuckers to cry on film and shit, and then like maybe not make anything again. I don't know. I'll go back to making ties. But I will say, for a guy like, you know, obviously he's got the best of the best. He probably is familiar enough with the craft, obviously, to pull this off to this level. You know, wrote the script from a book, this kind of shit. But it is a fucked up story. So I wonder how much the ending adheres to the book a little bit. But it is a thing where, like, it leaves you nebulous. And it's like, okay, it's a deeper think kind of a movie than you think it is. It feels very much like, oh, it's laying it all out. And then you start to see echoes of what's kind of like really at play. And then at the end, it's just like, oh, all right, this is like one of those stories of like, here's a story of a great grand fuck you. Because that's what I took away from it. Like in the end, it was all about a guy you never see on camera saying fuck you.
Yeah.
And that's what I took away from it. And I'll leave it at that because that doesn't really spoil it. But so
now, how long did it take you to figure out that in the one storyline, the the Amy Adams character is not played by Amy Adams, but played by Isla Fisher.
Oh, like as soon as you start to see her in the passenger seat.
Yeah.
Because what's going on is that Amy Adams is reading a book that her ex-husband has written her as a manuscript, is sent to her, and she's reading it, and so you get to see what she's picturing in her head as she reads it. And it's a fucked up book.
Yeah.
And there's reasons for everything that's in it. But the wife, they chose, what was Isla
Fisher.
Isla Fisher, who like the two of them constantly get mixed up for each other.
Yeah.
They do look a lot alike. And so for a split second, it's like, oh, is that her? And then it's like, no, it's not her. And it's like, I couldn't figure out who.
Is it? Like,
but is it? No,
it's not.
And then I thought like they inserted her in one shot. I thought there was one shot where it's like just a quick camera, like camera cuts over to the wife and then back to the husband, like like, oh wait, no, that was her that time.
Yeah.
They just did that to fuck with me. And like I went back and was like, oh no, it's not. But yeah, there is that, and it's look. It was one of those movies where at the end I had to watch a thing where it's like ending explained. I watched like 2 of them and I was like, no, okay, I did get this.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make sure like I wasn't missing anything too deep, and I was doing all right with it. I really didn't miss anything.
Yeah, I mean the Jake Gyllenhaal stuff is interesting. Aaron Taylor Johnson won a Golden Globe for this, which proves that the Golden Globes just give awards to the actors who scream the most.
Fair enough. Yeah.
And
Michael Shannon.
Michael Shannon is also really good in this.
But like he gets an award for that? Because didn't he win?
No.
Oh, he got nominated.
No, he didn't. A lot of people thought he should have gotten
Oh,
nominated.
okay. Yeah, I was gonna say.
So this was Zod, right?
Zod, right? The Zod dude.
The Zod dude.
Zod dude. Yeah, Zod dude is like a sheriff or whatever. Like like a real.
Right.
Yeah, I'm gonna help you find your wife and your daughter.
Oh no, I'm sorry. He Shannon got an Oscar nod for this.
He did get an Oscar nod, and I was like, okay.
He's a good actor. He's definitely
great.
He's definitely quirky.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like he's putting in as much character as he possibly can into this dialogue.
Right.
Well, like he seems to be the only actor in that movie who realizes that he's playing a literary character. Like, I'm not a real person. I'm a character in a book that someone's reading, and that's why that performance is like stiff and stilted the way it is.
All right. I can see that.
Because he's
playing the red word.
Yeah.
Yeah, like a little bit of that.
As the wording is being read, he's acting it out like this, a little stiff.
A little more of a caricature kind of thing.
I think it's the kind of thing where like Jake Gyllenhaal's character is not a great writer.
Right.
So I'm just gonna play this guy really stiff and 2-dimensional.
Like Jake Gyllenhaal on a Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, like still recommended because I feel like it's an artsy kind of thing maybe at times, but it's an interesting thing, and if you're looking for something. I was on HBO. I was browsing through the thing and ended up on that. I was like, people told me to watch this. I'm going to watch it.
Yeah, I will just say.
I wish I remembered which people told me.
I will just say all of the Amy Adams stuff in there. I was like cursing under my breath the whole time I'm watching it. Like, this is just fucking pretentious bullshit.
That's funny because like there is a certain amount of pretentiousness to it, but like I kind of resonated with some of it. There was some of it that like this whole thing of having been in a relationship that you fucked up or you feel like you fucked up that's like been a long time gone. Yeah, I don't know. I've been in a couple. So with that, like I couldn't really relate to her being super fucking rich.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could relate to her also too, like having this whole thing of like she's got a conflict with her creativity. Like she was supposed to be an artist, but now she's like an art gallery person. That made her crazy rich. She gave up being creative. She never really thought like she had a creative streak, and now she's stuffed that down and she's somebody else and she regrets it. So there was elements there, me on a personal level that I kind of like. I was like, oh, okay, I get that a little bit, or I could imagine, something like that. So maybe it hit me. All right. The story itself. It's kind of like a different conversation.
Yeah.
But I just mean as far as her. Like, yeah, don't get me wrong. She was very pretentious. She's rich as fuck. And it's like kind of like, okay, how perfect is your hair right now? Just stop. All right? It's like a red plank coming down, cutting the screen in half. Like, okay, the stylist is making the movie. Right, I got you. So with that, I think what we're going to do is we're going to move on over to the next section. Do you know what the next part is?
Emails?
Oh, email.
Chicky Wawa. Chikiwawa writes, "Dear guys." I don't know. We got nothing. Let me see. Let me roll it on through. A lot of junk mail in here. Holy guacamole. Should probably clean this up. All right. So, let's make sure that I did this one last week. Yes, we did. All right.
You didn't look through them?
No, it was just like, 'cause sometimes I'll go in there during the week, and the first email will automatically open, and then it's marked as read.
Yeah.
Now 3 days later, other junk comes in. Let me not make sure, let me make sure I didn't skip over anybody. Like, say all of a sudden, okay, like here, Ben. I almost missed over Ben here. Ben threw one to us on Thursday. Good old Ben. Benny Live Wire.
Yeah.
Oh, Ben. How you doing, Ben?
Hey, Benny. Hey, Benny.
Ben, how you doing?
Benny, how you doing?
Hey, Benny, old boy, old pal.
Hey, Benny's going through the catalog a little bit. He says, I just listened to episode 136. I thought I would give my top 5 American films that could be added to a national film registry, if not already.
Okay.
Wolf of Wall Street,
Okay.
Training Day,
Interesting.
Swingers,
All right.
Fight Club,
Cool.
Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
All right.
And I think I'd be fine with all those. That's a pretty good list.
Yeah, that's
That's
pretty spread out list.
I would love to hear your top 5 American films. Well,
Well, I know one that's going to be on Bill's list.
which one?
That's going to be, now I'm having a brain fart, Kaiser Soze.
No, that's,
Usual Suspects.
that's my favorite.
That's your favorite? That's your top?
Yeah, it's my top.
It's probably going to be near the top for me, too.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty high up there. Like I would have trouble probably putting my top 5 like in a real order, but like it's gonna be like Fight Club, Usual Suspects. It's probably gonna be most things with a twist. What's that twist? Usual Suspects, Fight Club, Reservoir Dogs or Pulp Fiction. Like I'd probably have to slip one of those in there.
I'm thinking Reservoir Dogs is up there for me, as well as Usual Suspects,
Sure.
because that just blew me away.
Yeah.
That
yeah.
reveal at the end, it just blows your mind.
Yeah, if you don't see it.
The Matrix, because that blew me away.
Sure.
That reveal blew me away. But not the other two.
yeah. We're all kind of in agreement with that.
Maybe Star Wars.
Okay. Maybe Star Wars. I think Memento's in there for me too. Memento's another one where I just really love the experience. What about you? You got a couple there?
I mean, I go classic. I go, I'll pull something, a nice noir thriller like Double Indemnity or
Right.
Out of the Past. I'm trying to think offbeat stuff.
Freaky Friday.
I walked with a zombie.
Right.
That's
You bring that up. You've mentioned that before.
yeah. That's probably my favorite horror movie. That's
Right. These are American films, right?
Yes.
Okay, fair enough.
Yes. Even though it's set in Britain, I think I would say it's an American filmmakers.
Sure.
The Prestige.
The Prestige. That's a good one.
That's my favorite movie, The New Millennium, I think.
Okay. Fair enough.
And that's one that has that intricate plot, all those twists and everything else.
Yeah.
So you think Fincher's best is Fight Club?
I wouldn't say. Well, I guess as a result, you would have to say that I'm saying Fincher's best is Fight Club, but like, what's better than Fight Club from him?
I don't know. I really like Seven. But like Zodiac is.
You know what? I haven't seen Zodiac, so maybe Zodiac would change that for me on some way. But
yeah, and that's an interesting one to go back to because there's a lot more special effects involved with that than you realize.
Okay.
And that's one.
Like I said, I've never seen it.
It's very true to life in the way that
Events happen.
well no in the way that there really is no proper resolution,
Right.
and it's the kind of thing like the first time you see it, you that's going to happen because they never caught the guy,
Right.
and it feels like it's a letdown, and it's this thing where like maybe and it makes a hardline decision as to what they think happened,
Right.
and maybe they're right.
But you don't know.
We'll never know. And
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
weird, like, I want something proper, but there is no proper ending to give you. So
And they lean into that in a way where they make sure that's the whole point of this all.
Yeah,
And I
the
believe
the filmmakers are just basically like, fucking deal with it, man.
That's what we're here to
I
do.
believe we also got from that movie the phrase, Jesus H. Christ on rubber crutches.
Is that what that was?
Right?
I don't know.
Robert Downey Jr. is in the movie, right?
Yes.
Yeah. He's the reporter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He plays Paul Avery.
Yeah,
There you go.
that's his line. In the movie. He's like, when he realizes two things go together, he's like, Jesus ate Christ on rubber crutches, but then he like shortens it.
Okay.
Again and again throughout the movie from there.
It becomes his recurring phrase
Right.
a little bit.
But he's he's like it's Jesus Christ, then it's Christ or Jesus. You know what I mean? So it changes a little bit, but.
Bob notices curses. Bob.
No, I went to see this with my ex, who thought that was the most hysterical thing.
Oh, okay. Whoa.
So that became a thing for a while.
Right.
In the house.
That's a thing I'm aware of now. So it's like I got you.
Yeah, man. And the character role, John Carroll Lynch is in this, and it's funny. Like he and Downey Jr. are both in Gothica.
Okay. Right.
You know, and very different roles. John Carroll Lynch is just fucking scary in this. He's just fucking scary.
Scary
and
Mary.
Brian Cox plays Melvin Belli.
What are we talking movie?
Zodiac.
Okay. Fair enough.
And it's when you see him, it's like oh, and this is a guy who played a ghost in an episode of Star Trek, and he was this really high profile.
All right, here we go.
Lawyer.
Star Trek. All right.
Yeah, no, it's funny, and they do make a reference to it in the movie. But yeah, Zodiac.
We've gone too far along.
Yeah, I think I came up with 5.
I mean, I don't even know if I did,
Well,
but
I wasn't really
ballparking
counting.
it.
I think I did 4, so I would say if for a 5th one,
Yeah.
just any really bad movie, like Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
But because they're all bad, they don't get any
Trauma.
special. You can't name anyone.
No.
Don't pick one because they're all terrible. So you lump them all together. I like that.
You want to have one Plan 9, one Reefer Madness in there.
Just something like Reefer Madness, no, because that's just retarded.
Yeah.
That was a whole
Propaganda thing.
propaganda thing.
But
any of the
something crazy, something like Ed Woody kind of thing.
something low budget, really bad, well intentioned.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Don't even know that they're making something terrible type thing.
Right. You know what I mean? Right. So those are the ones you laugh hardest at. When you see the tomato go by and you can see the skateboard underneath it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
well, those guys knew.
You know what I mean? It's like, okay, they didn't care. You know, when you can see the string on the hubcap that is the spaceship in Ed Wood.
You gotta give it to them for ingenuity, man.
That's really, I should be saying Plan
American-
9, from outer
American
space.
ingenuity.
However, that movie also funded by a church group.
Well, somebody had to pay for it.
Yeah.
So thanks, Benny. Thanks for the email. Moving on. We got one from here from Steph Muniz.
Hey, Steph, long time no hear, I think, right? We haven't heard from her for a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
She was in Germany, I think.
Yeah, she gets around. Hey, yous guys.
Hey, Steph, how was the bratwurst?
How was the bratwurst?
How was the schnitzel?
Well, how about this? Huzzah! I'm at the Arizona Renaissance Festival.
Ooh, a
All
red
right, cool.
It's really windy, and it's out in the desert, so you can imagine how much sand I'm eating today.
Yeah.
And not for nothing, but if you're gonna have it anywhere to have a Renaissance festival, don't do it out in the desert. Those costumes look hot in any climate. But the desert. Ugh.
I think you got to do it under a steady mist, like the whole block or whatever area you're in is steadily misted from above by whatever system you can, just to keep everybody cool.
She says, okay, but moving on, just 2 things for you gents. First, have any of you been to a Renaissance festival? And if so, what did you enjoy about it? So we'll break there. Ed, have you ever been to a Renaissance festival?
Not that I can remember. May have
I get the feeling you would definitely remember whether you liked it or not.
Yeah, no. Sorry.
No, me either.
What's the one down in Virginia that always used to be on TV? Was it Virginia or somewhere down?
Well, right over the bridge in Jersey, there's the Renaissance. What are they called?
What's it called?
There's actually a name.
Yeah,
It's a chain. It's like a chain. There's more than one.
New Jersey Renaissance, whatever. Look it up, Ed. What's the name of it? Everybody talks about it. It's one everybody goes to.
I'm gonna kick myself.
Medieval times.
Yes, medieval times.
Oh, I've been there.
Yeah. That's the closest we get.
Yeah. Okay. That's basically what the festival is.
But I think
I have a horrible story from that place.
Oh, do you?
Oh, there you go. Thanks. All right.
Let's hear more.
Oh no, because it's very embarrassing for a friend of mine.
Well, we don't have to know about the friend.
Who we
You could
took-
you could short version it.
We took
You went
her-
with the woman who could deep throat the entire turkey leg.
Shit,
went for someone's 21st birthday.
Oh, okay.
And let's just say he doesn't remember it.
Okay, well, that's a reason, I'm sure.
Yeah. Carrying him out with a girl I was flirting with.
Right.
That, found out as we were dragging him out together that she was actually seeing him at the time.
Oh, well, I guess I wasted all my time tonight.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'll drop him now.
Yeah, and
I'll leave him here then.
it was a large group of us, but we were the only one who was carrying them, who was willing to carry him out, and he was very drunk, and the kind of thing where like they have like these candles that are lining the whole thing, and he keeps pulling a candle and blowing it out as we're driving away. That's the only thing he has enough concentration left to do.
Oh, okay.
And so when the security guard came up to us, he may have cupped the guy's breasts. I can't really remember. I just remember the guy looking at me and saying, "You get him out of here now, or we will take him out." And I said, "We should be leaving. What a great idea!
What a great idea! Cheerio, pip pip, and all that.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Well, it's better than I got because I got nothing. Yeah, never been to the medieval times or
nope.
I think Richmond, something, Virginia has.
Oh, they have the colonial
Williamsburg.
Williamsburg.
That's
okay.
That's what I was trying to remember the name
That's
of.
not a Ren Fair. I've been there.
That's a town that's just Ren Fair all the time.
Williamsburg is fun. It's not a Ren Fair. Renaissance is not colonial times.
Motherfucker, to me, if it's like people from 1930, it's a Ren Fair.
Renaissance is the Middle Ages.
It don't matter. If it's before 1960, it's all Middle Ages to me. It's all Bilbo and the Hobbit.
Yeah.
All right, go on. But you've been there?
Yes, I have.
Oh, all right. Did you have any ale?
No. I was in 8th grade.
Did you get put in the stocks for treason?
I went on a ghost tour.
Did you eat with your hands?
You made out with a ghost whore?
No, went on a ghost tour.
That's what I heard, Bill.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
Yeah.
Made out with a ghost whore. All right. Well, hey. I'm
not just any ghost whore. Ye oldie ghost whore.
I'm not judging you. You know? Whatever happens, happens. Love is a mysterious thing. All right, so Steph's email continues. She says, and secondly, congrats on the new sound equipment. And it has improvement the overall volume of the show.
All right.
Okay.
All right. So, I didn't have to turn you up a couple notches like I used to.
You thank much.
We did.
Well, at least something's going right.
Yeah. Nothing much this week for me. She said, I don't have to turn up a couple notches like I used to, so that's something. I'm sure once you work out all the bugs, the show is going to sound even better. That'll do it for me. Take care, fellas. Your pal, Steph. She's right. Once I fix all the bugs, it'll sound better.
Yeah, well, the Exterminator's coming next Saturday.
How about that? I think it's a thing for me where, I don't work out the bugs for quite a while. If we're talking historical context. Mm-hmm. All right. So basically, that's just me saying, get used to it, kids. All right, Wesley!
Ooh. This one, the ink is probably still fresh on this email, right?
Hey, 7:33, he sent it. Hey, you gentlemen, you have been tasked with staffing a school, but using fictional characters. So who would you choose for positions like librarian, chemistry, history, and so on? And if I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Well, I'm sorry, what was the beginning of that again?
So we have to staff a school, a high school, just a school, but using fictional characters. So who would we put in those positions?
Well, Captain America would be the security guard.
Okay, that would be a good one.
All right. Well, no, you
want Frank Castle for security.
Well, I was actually just thinking about Frank Castle as like the guy at the door.
Well, it's either. Here's the thing: it's Cap or Frank Castle, security or gym coach, gym teacher.
Maybe they're a team, so that.
Well, they're not going to get along.
So that Frank Castle doesn't get too carried away.
Well, maybe that's just the hijinks, Yeah, I think Frank is security. Cap is like the head gym coach guy.
Maybe he's the counselor.
Who's counselor?
Captain America.
Oh yeah, counselor. Yeah,
yeah. All I know is MacGyver's.
Vision is counselor.
MacGyver's.
Oh yeah. All right, bore everybody to death.
MacGyver's a science teacher.
MacGyver's a science teacher. I could go with that. That's cool.
Mm-hmm. I would think he would be the shop teacher.
Nah, chemistry, man. It's all chemistry.
Home ec. Yeah. Home ec. He's a home ec guy. He's teaching home economics and what to do with baking soda. I mean, but no, chemistry. Yeah, because chemistry. Chemistry sciences.
Maybe he's the substitute that specializes in all those things because he is such a handy person.
I
So
think
he could be the gym teacher one day. He could be the shop teacher the next day.
who is this? I forgot already.
MacGyver.
MacGyver. Yeah. Well, there's a few.
Yeah.
Well, you know, he's like the
then
hockey. He's the hockey coach.
And then he could be the home economics teacher one day. He could teach typing next day.
All right, we got all these positions we can give to other people. Like,
Well, I'm saying he could be the substitute.
oh, there you go,
that
fill-in
fills
guy.
all those spots.
Yes.
Because he's so
Gotcha.
handy. That's the point.
Right. I got you. Now I contextualized it for real life, where like in public school it'd be like, oh, you teach this too, like you fill in for science, but you were the math teacher filling in the other day.
Right.
And it's like, yeah, jerk.
On your
like,
resume, it said you taught this too. So.
So I had one and I lost it. Principal. No. Indiana Jones history. Okay. Dr. Doom is principal. I mean, no one's gonna like the rules anyway, but I'm not giving it to Professor X because I feel like that's the kind of guy who brings trouble.
Maybe he could be assistant principal.
Well, that's true. There could be some hijinks. So then, who's principal then? Who would be principal?
No, I'm saying Dr. Doom as principal.
Oh,
but
okay.
Professor X as assistant
As
principal.
assistant principal, and they're always quarreling. I mean, unless someone can think of somebody else.
Reed Richards has to be a science teacher.
Sure. You're gonna need a few.
Yeah.
Sue Storm could teach home economics.
Sure.
What was her specialty anyway? I know she's not a scientist, but what was she doing?
I don't know. I don't know.
Was she a reporter or something? Was she
Girlfriend?
basic-
I don't know.
Iris West?
Yeah, basically. We're pulling a lot of comic book characters.
Yeah.
We can use all kinds of
Barry
shit.
Allen's got to be the
Track coach. Track coach Barry Allen. Sure.
See, but I don't actually. He's not a natural runner. Like I don't think he.
He's not going to have the insight he's got too much going on.
Yeah, if it wasn't for the fact that he had those powers, he
wouldn't run.
He would not be very athletic.
All right. Well, I mean, he's forensics trained, so he could be in the sciences. You know. And it probably would be a little bit showing off if he's telling all the track kids how to be faster. Yeah. Come on, you can do it. It's easy. Well, fucking for you, Coach Allen.
What's an Antonio Banderas character?
Anybody in the chat room helping us out with this bit?
Billy Batson can be a student.
You're thinking all comic book characters.
Yeah.
As Shazam, he could be. Maybe just the guy who does the lunches. Because he's got to come and go. You know what I mean?
Right. These guys who's only there for a little bit every day.
Well, let's get some foreign languages in here.
Oh, okay.
Who's an Antonio Banderas character who can teach Spanish?
The El Mariachi?
Yeah.
Right. He's the Spanish teacher?
You got to have Benicio del Toro's teaching Spanish.
And nobody understands in either language what the fuck he's talking about.
Yes.
Like, oh, that's Spanish? No, it was fucking English. What are you fucking talking about?
Or that Johnny Depp character from Once Upon a Time in Mexico, who,
Sure.
if you get the conjugation perfect, he has to kill you to remove that perfection from the world to balance out the universe.
Something like that. I don't know. I feel like there's more to this bit, but
yeah, we know Peter Parker's going to go to the school, so
yeah, Peter Parker's going to go to school, or if he's a teacher, he's just going to teach like the whatever he's teaching. He's teaching photography as well.
Right, yeah.
He's running the photo lab in a conjunction, and they made him a school teacher for a while recently in the comics. He was teaching English, of all things.
Well, he speaks it, so I'm sure.
That's all it takes. I think I got it down. All right, so
I grew up in Queens. I know the language.
Fair enough.
I'm just that Colin Quinn used to have this bit where he'd be like, "I want to be in a movie where I play the teacher who cleans up the urban school."
Right.
And then we go to the competition. Then we go up and we show our own, and then they cheat and we end up losing, but everyone still feels really good about themselves. And then they go to me and I fight. No, I got a job at that white school that just beat us. I mean, I just I put in an application. I didn't know.
They really like me a lot. I'm going tomorrow.
And the movie ends with him being killed in a drive-by.
There you go. All right, so with that, let's start leaning towards the gate, I think, right? I mean, it's about that time, I think, if we're looking at the clock and then we're doing some math because of the break we took before. This is going to start getting crazy any second. So we have to abandon ship because it's going to start making noise.
All right.
So let's get out of here. We're going to go off for a second, come right back. There's going to be a song for us to take us through the quick break so we can take a quick break, and then we'll be right back with the after show.
Don't forget,
Ed, what's up?
No,
Don't forget what?
the Twitter handles.
No, that's what we're doing. Ed, where are you?
I'm at Edward O'Hare TBD.
All right, Brother Bob.
I'm at Bob WTPC.
Woo-star. And I'm at Wicked Theory. The show is wickedtheory.com. Find Uncle Jay. Find Dom Tory. They're out there, too. And they listen to us every week because you like us. And if you don't like us, come anyway. We'll like you anyhow. You don't have to like us for us to like you. Brother Bob, I don't know if that made any sense. But please, take us the fuck out of here.
The Wicked Theory podcast is heard live every Saturday at 7 p.m. Eastern until whenever. Just go to mixler.com/wicked-theory. Mixler is MIXLR. Sign up to join the chat. Then click the follow button to get reminders whenever the show goes live. You can find the show on iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play Music, wherever good podcasts are given away for free, and at wickedtheory.com. You can support the show at patreon.com/wickedtheory. There you can get the after show if you miss it live. God forbid. Plus other exclusive episodes. As always, send your emails to podcast@wickedtheory.com.